Evening, lads. Just another video. I'll just make it short and sharp. It's just going to go over the sessions that I've put on Google Sheets over the last 24 hours, running and strength work. I'll just duck back down into here. On my Word document. Okay, just a little bit of an outline of my thought process when we're doing this. Most people have been doing a lot of their work in this realm, in that 3 to 5 meters per second category, which is good, all well and good. In fact, it's probably been quite beneficial for a lot of you. One, keeps your body fat down, keeps you generally fit, keeps your aerobic base going. It's bang on. But what we need to be doing now to get back in rugby shape is start working this in these areas where the blue and the orange really here, and then ideally we'll start to work in here, but a little bit closer. If you're somebody who's been working in this area for a long time, it's going to take you a little bit longer to start working at this one. You've kind of got to earn the right over a couple of weeks to build up the base, and that's where we're going to use that here in this 5 to 7 meters per second area, and more importantly in the 7 to 9 meters per second there. Things that really I'm just trying to get down is the accelerations that we've not done a lot of, especially if you've been running in this area a lot, which I know a lot of you have. And then decelerations as well. We'll just cover that when we go and do a little bit on small sided games. The two sessions that are on there, Monday, Wednesday. In fact, let's go to that now. Just down, put that up. Yeah, so this is, if you remember back to the other spreadsheet what we've done, it was a double loading week that I'd advise most people to do. Training 4 times a week if possible. 2 of those days would have been tempo days, Monday, Thursday, and then your more development days, your standard conditioning work, shuttles, etc. They would have been done Tuesday, Friday. What I'm saying now is to go on to a three day development week. A couple of reasons for that. One, we're going to get like a higher volume of high speed running, especially on these days, on Monday or Wednesday, and that's where I really want to send you in that direction now. Now, the goal of this is to really, this top one is build high speed run, acceleration, max velocity workload, and we'll need that for when we start coming back in. So if you're somebody who's done a lot of steady state running, again, it's a good base to come from, but the biggest thing that's going to shock you as soon as you come back in is when you start doing, again, left v right, stuff like that, where it's going to be a lot of start stop over 2-3 meters, and a lot of accelerations, kick sprints and stuff like that. That's the workload that you're not going to have and built up with. So that's why I'm going to try and send you down there. This Monday's a linear speed day, 10-20 meter accelerations, really hard accelerations. Wednesday's skills, agility, change of direction type of day, and both of these sessions here are followed by tempo runs. The 7 meters per second is kind of a guideline. It won't fit for everybody. This is kind of based on a lot of people's maximal speed. So say if you're 10 meters per second, your 70% of that would be 7 meters per second. But again, a lot of you boys, especially particularly outside backs, will get over 7 meters per second a lot. Forwards, not so much. So you probably want to tweak the distances that you're running over your tempos. Maybe you wouldn't go out to 100 meters. You might just stick it around at 70 meters. But again, you still want to be getting the same speed output as the rest of the lads. This is just a session by session breakdown. Just ignore these dates. I'm just going to amend them as we come. Again, as I've just said, it's a linear speed day based predominantly around accelerations. Okay. You'll have done a shitload of these already, but you know, like 10, these ones, just to come on to that as well. Obviously, a lot of training in smaller groups, outside groups of 6. Ideally, you're going to get together in a group of 6 and do these sessions, but it becomes a lot more competitive. You can easily coach them between yourselves as well. So these 10 meter chases for all push-up starts, depending on what you want to do. Again, the premise of everything is just to run as hard as you can over 10 meters, and have a good solid 60 second recovery, walk back recovery before you do it again. So the 10 meter chases, we've done those before. So one person will say lie down on his chest on the try line. One person will stand 3 or 4 meters back, stood up, and as soon as that person on the front line gets up and starts running, the person at the back has to take off running and chasing basically through to 10 meters. So 5 efforts to that one, again with about 60 seconds in between. You can do that 1-2 chasers, for example, or 2 people down and 1 chaser. You can mix that up and just have a bit of fun with it. If you're by yourself, push-up starts is just a dead easy one. Again, just do your 10 meter sprint from a push-up position, good acceleration position, and then just walk back recovery again 60 seconds. A rolling 20 meter sprint, just a 5 meter lead in, pretty hard. As soon as you hit that 5 meters, just hard acceleration as you hard as you can through the 20 meters or 15 meter sprint. But you just want to be rolling pretty hard at 70-80% from that 5 with a definite change of intensity as soon as you hit that 5 meters. And 5 of them, the rule is 1 minute per 10 meters performed. So 2 minutes recovery, walk back. Again, it's about quality. 200 meters the hard way. I've done this as a conditioning drill previously with a few lads, but we're just going to use it in a slightly different way. So it's essentially it's like a relay run. So if you've got 6 people in your group, you'd have a person that started on his front down on the try line, and then you'd have a person on the front on the 20 meter line. The person on the try line is going to get up, sprint 20 meters. As soon as he gets through 20 meters, the next person who's starting on his chest from 20 meters is going to sprint back, tag the next person who's on the try line, who's going to tag the next person who's on the 20. So if you've got a group of 6, you'll do 1 sprint to, you get a 1 to 5 recovery between each one. If you've only got a couple within your group, again, lean on the side of having more recovery time. So if you've got, say, 1 to 3, you'd have 1 person on the try line, 2 people on the try line, 1 person on the 20 meter line. You'd be up and sprint. And then as soon as you get through the 20 meter line, the person who's down, wait for 5 seconds, and then he would sprint back. So you can just maximise your rest time. Wednesday is more of a change of direction drill day. Again, solid warm up run throughs. I've just put 3 drills down there. I'll try and attach some videos towards these as well, so you know what you're doing. Again, you'll have done similar to these with me in pre-season. Reactive lateral shuffle. So basically, you stood in between 2 cones. You say you've got a red and a blue cone, and you're always gonna get back to the middle. Someone will shout blue. You side shuffle into the blue. Someone will shout blue again. In red, you do 6 cuts in each one. And then the next person comes. 3 cone drill. I think the NFL Combine, or like a bit of a Malcolm, for example. So you're going to start in the middle. You're going to face in laterally. You're going to turn, touch the 10 meter line, sprint to the far 10 meter line, and then sprint through the middle. Again, you can do 3 each side. In fact, don't do it over 10 meters. Do it over 5 meters. So 5, 10, 5 would be a sprint. And retreat, cut, and react. Basically, start down. You're going to sprint back 5 meters. Sprint forward 10. When you get to that 10 meters, again, if you're doing this as a small group, you'll have set 2 cones out on the 45-degree cut from that 10 meter line, and then somebody will call red or blue again, and you'll just cut 1 cut down to the red cone, for example, sprint through another 10 meters, and then walk back, and then the next person goes. Again, I'll try and attach a video to that. On each of these days, though, you're going to start just building up your tempo runs. So these are getting up there in speed, but the key is to have as much rest as you can. So I've used this 130 beats per minute as a guideline, which I really like doing. So you boys who've got heart rate watches, the Apple Watches don't work as well, I've been told. You can get a lot of these, the Polar watches that we've got at the club on eBay for about £5, so it might be worth just the investment and getting them sent out in the next couple of weeks. And they're a good little tool for these. If you don't want to go and get one of them, just make sure your timers are done. So if you're going to do 7, you're going to run 50 meters in 7.5 seconds. You just go on the minute each time and just try and maintain the same speed. So 10 efforts will take you 10 minutes at the end of the session to do. And that's the easiest way of doing that one. Again, you see on the Wednesday is you're just going to bump up in intensity. Friday is your standard running then. So you're going to do your 120% MAS runs. I've done a 4 week progression of what they look like. Okay. See, so we've got longer runs on this one. This one is got a shuttle involved. This one is more shuttles. This one's the same shuttles. Again, we're just bumping up volume in each one. Now, I forgot this tab here. This is your small-sided games. I know you know out of a million games that you've played before. Offside touch is a good one, great conditioning game. If you choose to do offside touch, what I would suggest is do this. If you're going to do predominantly small-sided games, which I'll be honest with you, I would probably try and push you down towards that route, particularly the lads who've been really bang on with all the long-distance running, is play longer games for them at bigger field dimensions. So I've got 20 by 30 here, so that might be 30 by 40. And again, 3x3 or 4v4 in those ones, that's going to be really challenging to do that one. So you play that for about 4 minutes, say, 3 minutes if you want to start in progression. Then your pre-fatigue would then be going back to here. It wouldn't be this longer run here. That would be a set of Malcolms, or it'd be 10 back, 20 back, 30 back. Something that lasts around 20 to 30 seconds on a shuttle, and you do minimal of that. So again, it's a pre-fatigue. So you do 3 shuttles or 3 sets of Malcolms, or a set of 6 of Malcolms or something as pre-fatigue. Then you would have 30 seconds to go into your game, play your game. If you're going to do it the other way, what I would say is do your running, and then I would say do some skills in between rather than do heavy run skills, heavy runs, games conditioning, sorry, because we probably haven't earned the right just yet to do those high, the games conditioning stuff under a lot of fatigue, which you will be doing if you do it that way. But again, jump on with that with the 120% MAS. I think that's a good starting point for everybody, and there's a good amount of volume that you're going to get into that one as well. If you do want to go and do one of the other sessions, figure of eights or anything like that, I haven't necessarily got a problem with any of that. It's just is what it is. It's just, again, it's about getting a good blow on. It's about giving everything maximal intent and just trying to make all the times. Let's go back to here. Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, and then Sundays, obviously your off days there. Ideally, you're doing something on these days. This is just the time now, boys, where you just need to be really honest with yourself, be honest with me. Just give me a text or a phone call. If you don't feel that you've been as disciplined as what you could have been over this last couple of weeks, your weight's high, or you know that your body comp's not good. The only way you're going to get that down is by doing a little bit more work capacity stuff on these days off. This might be a case as well, again, for the lads who did the pre-season. These might be more days where you need more volume. You need to put a little bit more size on. If you need to gain, fit another weights, beat session weights within that one, those are the days that you're going to do that. But if you need to do a little bit extra, there's watt bikes, there's ski ergs, there's body weight sessions, fucking all sorts of stuff. The Zoom classes on a Tuesday, Thursday that you could be cracking on and doing, and it's just one of those little things that's going to get you a little bit more prepped and prepared for when we come back in. As always, but just if you need anything, just give us a call. If you've got any questions or queries or anything, or something in there that you know is not going to quite fit you, just that time, I can always just tweak that to whatever you need to be. So if you're going to train by yourself, I'll put something a bit more bespoke for you together, just so your progression to training when we come back in is seamless. Again, just get in contact if you need us. Cheers, boys.